So you've decided that you want to be a full-time trader. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about some very, very important things to think about before you decide to go quitting your job and trying to become a full-time trader. So stay tuned, let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the video and the channel here. My name is Nick. I talk all about trading and investing here on my YouTube channel. I've shared a lot of my journey as a trader, even points where I actually quit my job and put it here on YouTube and kind of threw up my whole heart and soul in a video where I was basically taking a leap. Today is finally the day that we're gonna take the leap and I'm gonna go full-time as an entrepreneur and Forex trader. It's funny to think about that because it's been a little while since I've actually quit my job, and since then have built my business as well as my trading to a much different level than back then. But today I'm going to talk about that initial leap, that if you want to quit that job, what do you need to be able to do? What do you need in order to full-time trade money for a living? Now, my personal situation or story is a little bit different because trading was not my only source of income when I decided to quit. Obviously, you're watching my YouTube channel right now. I do make some money from YouTube. It's not an incredible amount of money, but it's good money to a point that when I first quit my job, I was basically just trading and doing a YouTube channel. And that was enough for me to finally quit my job. Now, I have to say, from my perspective, I was working a $70,000 a year software job. I went to school for computer science and I got a pretty good paying job, but it just wasn't for me. I was really unhappy at it and really wanted to leave it. And I finally got to a point after years of trading, after years of saving money and working up to that. I started learning to trade when I was in high school, and throughout that time, trying to learn to grow and invest more money, I eventually quit my job, but it was a long process. It's not something that you do very, very quickly. Now, before I talk more about my story, I'm going to say this. If you are thinking about quitting your job, the big things that you need to think about, in case you don't watch the rest of this video, the most important things to think about are: consider your personal financial needs. How much money do you need? Because everybody's situation is different. Are you married? Where do you live in the world, right? Different costs of living in different places. What kind of lifestyle are you willing to live? Are you willing to live a very, low expense lifestyle, not treating yourself or, being a high spender by any means? Or do you require a little bit more comfort in order to quit your job? These are things that you have to think about on your own personal level before you can go choose to quit your job. Because for me, I'm a very minimalistic person. Even at a point, I've been able to fortunately make some money in my life, and I really don't spend a lot of it. So I'm a very minimalistic person. I don't spend a ton of money, and that is my personal situation. Yours might be a little bit different. Maybe you're also like me, where you don't really need a whole lot, and if you want to trade for a living, it's mostly just because you think it would make you happy. Now, we'll talk more about that because trading for a living is emotionally challenging. It's psychologically challenging. A lot of times it's psychologically challenging to learn to trade, but it's even more so challenging when your bills rely on it. So again, you have to think about how much money do you personally need in order to full-time trade, okay? Because the next thing you have to say is, well, okay, let's say that you need $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Now again, wherever you are in the world, that might be different. $1,000 to $2,000 in the United States is actually not that much money. It's actually pretty low amounts of money per month to live off of, considering in the city that I live, Atlanta, it's like $1,400, $1,500 a month for rent, usually on average for apartments. So that's something to think about, right? You have to think about your cost of living, what does it cost you to go to the grocery store, all that sort of budgeting things you have to think about. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, if I need $2,000 per month, how much percentage per month am I comfortably, not on a good month, not on a bad month, how much can I comfortably, consistently make overall on my trading account? Because that is where it's gonna really matter. If you need $2,000 and you're shooting for 10% per month, which is pretty aggressive, because again, you're gonna have good months, you're gonna have bad months. If you're able to average a 10% per month gain, that would be very, very good. I haven't met too many traders who are able to consistently do that long term. But regardless, if that's what you require, then $2,000 a month, you're gonna need $20,000 in an account in order to make that 10% per month, which is gonna give you that $2,000 that you need. Again, it's just a little bit of math that everybody has to do on their own. If you require, $2,000, but you're not comfortable that you could make 10% per month. Let's say you're shooting for 2% per month. Well, then you need $100,000 in an account in order to make your living expense. Now, one more thing to add there, because to me, one of the most powerful things about trading is not making money and just spending it right away. One of the most powerful things about trading is building capital and then reinvesting it into the market again. Now, I was talking with my editor, who is also a trader slash investor, about this concept exactly. We were talking about the power of just reinvesting that money that you make right back into the market and putting it away for a better day, right? Fortunately, in my case, I run a financial media company. We do this YouTube channel. We do all sorts of different stuff. So that is another source of income for me as well on top of my trading. So for me, one thing to also consider is if you're not comfortable, you don't have a ton of money coming in from one source, trading for a living doesn't actually require 8 hours per day. Now that's important because that means that you could be hustling. That means you could be doing other things. I know people that flip iPhones, flip shoes, flip all sorts of different things, right? They have other sources of income as well. I've shared the story on my channel before about someone else's story, which is basically they were a full-time or part-time barber, part-time bartender, and learning to trade. And eventually they got rid of the bartending job, and more recently, they actually have gone to just part-time barber and part-time trader. Super cool sort of stuff. That's a real life situation that I'm sure a lot of people could relate to, is instead of trying to take your trading and saying, okay, I want to 100% be trading for a living at this point, try and look at it as a long-term goal, because my opinion is some of the best ways to approach it would be, okay, how can I use trading to not pay everything off next month, but what about pay my electric bill? What about pay my car bills? What about slowly working it up so that it pays your rent? And then you have all of these expenses being paid from your trading over time after you've built up an account, after you've gotten much better at trading to a point where you can actually consistently make money. That's where it's gonna really, really count to becoming that full-time trader. I personally think the best way to approach it is to incrementally approach trading. I mentioned that for me, a huge milestone was quitting my job and having enough money for my trading to pay most of my rent, and the other sections of my life, taking my girlfriend out on dates, going to the grocery store, those sort of things, I was able to pay with the YouTube channel, which was much smaller at that time. And since then, we've been able to hire an editor, we've moved into an office space, we've started all sorts of business stuff off of the back of the trading channel and that sort of thing. So, it's all one of those things. When it comes to trading, trading is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is looking for opportunities to make money in any way that you can. And I think that a lot of times people look at trading and they just want to trade right off the bat very quickly for a living, 100% making their money from trades because they're really, really good at calling the market. Unfortunately, the reality is that we all have good months, we all have bad months, and to expect that you're always going to be making big bucks in the market is pretty naive and probably very unrealistic. Now, there are months where I make great money from my trading, and then there are months where I don't make any money, and there are also months where I even lose money. And so looking at it from that perspective, I think that there's a lot of stress in trying to trade exclusively for a living because you're requiring yourself to deliver, to perform on your trading month after month or just most of the time, which is tough because no matter how good you are as a trader, you have drawdowns, you have bad periods, you have times where things just aren't going well. And so given that is going to happen, to me, being able to supplement that with anything else, right? Taking a part-time job rather than a full-time job and trading as the other part of your income, having something else to get you into that trading full-time segment is huge because it's going to give you a little bit of peace of mind. Even if you were just using a part-time job to make money while you trade with the other time, that would be huge because it would give you a little bit more security. Like, okay, well, my rent's gonna be paid by this other job no matter what, so I just need to use trading as a way to grow, that account. So whatever your situation is, it is very important to consider it on a, everybody has their own personal situation, and it's very important to really consider what you need, what's realistic to you, and again, expecting the ups and the downs to come, because that's the reality of trading. I think that, for me, exclusive only trading is not even something that I really want to do. Why? Because it's kind of boring. I don't spend all day looking at the screen. I'm a swing trader, so I'm taking trades for maybe an hour, 2 hours a day, and that's really it. I have a lot of other time to make videos, to do other things, to do financial coverage in the business, and to run a community for traders. I have other things that I can be doing, and I know a lot of other people have a lot of other passions. So don't, in my opinion, don't fixate on being a full-time trader very, very quickly. If that's something that you want to do, I absolutely agree with you. It's something that I've worked towards the last 5 years of my life, and I'm continuing to work to a point where, you continue to build capital. You get it to a point where you only need 2%, 3% per month to make a really good salary. And that requires a lot of capital, but it is something that with time and with growing accounts and with using other sources of income is very, very realistic. The cool thing about trading is as you build an account, you really can set your own salary, given that you're managing your risk, you're playing it conservative to a degree, and you're able to actually over time consistently make money. That can be really, really cool, because you can every year your salary theoretically can go up if you're reinvesting gains and you're continuing to improve as a trader. So just my 2 cents when it comes to trading for a living. Don't rush the process, guys. It's a long journey, but it's a fun journey. I've enjoyed learning to trade. I've enjoyed, reiterating things that I've learned here on YouTube and starting a business and doing all these other things. It's all a process that I love, and it's something that I think is no rush. I think at some point, maybe when I'm older and I'm bored of making YouTube videos or something, maybe I'll just sit around and just trade my money after I've built up some larger accounts, or to a point where I could just easily make way more money than I need just from my trading. At some point, I'm sure it will get there, but until then, I'm just enjoying the process and enjoying to continue to improve my trading and do the full journey, if you will. I hope that helps. I hope that was clarifying some questions for those of you guys. We got a couple of questions from this exact topic recently, and I just wanted to talk about it. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of the video. Make sure to like the video down below if you did enjoy, and let's see you back next time.